Aryama Sundaram, quick questions to him, and I'm coming back to all of you. Aryama Sundaram, really appreciate your time. Senior advocate of the Supreme Court is joining us live now. Mr. Sundaram, this allegation coming from various political parties about lack of level playing field ahead of elections. How do you look at these multiple developments? Chain of events, one would say, arrest of Arvind Kejriwal by the Enforcement Directorate, Congress saying that all its accounts have been frozen, and then details of electoral bonds which show that the ruling dispensation is the biggest beneficiary.
Look, without a doubt, the events which have transpired have definitely put various opposition parties on the back foot. There is no doubt that with elections imminent, these actions having been taken have put the opposition parties on the back foot. You cannot deny that. It has been advantage BJP. You cannot deny that. However, having said that, I must say one more thing. Every single action taken has had legal backing. You may then raise a question about timing. I'll come to that subsequently. But the fact is, every action has legal backing. Whether you look at the electoral bonds issue, was a decision of a constitutional bench of the Supreme Court. And it so happened that happenstance, the BJP appears to be the beneficiary of it. What happened with the freezing of accounts was pursuant to an alleged non-disclosure of income tax. What happened with regard to the arrest of the Delhi Chief Minister is something which has happened to a number of people under the PMLA and on not answering 9 summons. Now, if you take each one of these, you would find that it has a legal backing which fortuitously has worked to the advantage of the BJP and the great disadvantage of the opposition. And is the BJP making political capital out of these, let me say, holes or chinks in the armor of the opposition parties? Yes, the BJP is making political capital out of such chinks. But it is but natural in politics that any political party would seek to make political capital when the opportunity presents itself. Unfortunately, the opposition parties have chinks in their armor, have presented opportunities, and those opportunities have been taken. And we must realize that in today's politics, no opportunity will be missed.
Absolutely.
This is no longer the days of the Oxford debates or the gentleman boxing when you don't knock a person when he's on his way down. But in modern day politics, whether in India or all over the world, you make capital out of any situation and you make hay when the sun shines.
Okay, Mr. Sundaram.
Now that's exactly what has happened. To answer your question, are the opposition parties on the back foot with this chain of events? Answer, yes. But are these chain of events something which is created out of thin air, fabricated? Answer, no.
Okay, so tell me, how do you look at these chain of events from the legal point of view?
On the legal point of view, the fact is, if there was non-disclosure, there is power for the Income Tax Department to have passed the order that they did. Do they pass such an order in all cases? Not necessarily. Did they pass it in this case? Yes. Can it be said that the Congress has been unfortunate by the Income Tax Department acting very strictly and throwing the book at them and applying the law strictly in a manner which they had the discretion not to do immediately? Yes, that is an answer. But at the same time, have they done so illegally, not warranted by law, not allowed under law? To that, my answer has to be in the negative and say they have not done anything against law. Now, the point of it is also is that if these accounts have been frozen unlawfully, and if I'm not mistaken, that happened some time ago, surely there is legal recourse. And I want to know what has happened as an outcome of those legal proceedings. And have they taken the legal recourse? And what has the court decided as to whether it was warranted or not? So the point I'm trying to make to you is maybe political capital is being made, hay is being harvested because the sun is shining, but the fact is each one of these actions is individually backed by law.
Okay, so the actions are backed by law, but the political parties and the entire opposition says that the timing is a suspect because this is just weeks to go before the first phase.
Well, the fact is, if the court did not give them relief, that means the court did not find that the actions were illegal, and the court has decided not to grant relief. Well, the point I'm trying to make is, I'm sure Mr. Kejriwal on his side will make political capital out of this. Don't forget Mr. George Fernandez, at the time of emergency, fought the elections from behind bars and won by a record margin of more than 4 lakh votes. So I'm sure that Mr. Kejriwal will also like to make political capital out of the situation. And this is all a question of politics. The fact is, the law has been used, and many people will say has been used for political purposes.
Okay.
But the fact is, the law has been used. It's not that an unlawful act has been done.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us.